All right, Sunday, June the 15th, Father's Day up here. So happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, including my dad. Anyway, we are off to Canadian Tire Motorsports Park this morning. I call it Mosport. All the old guys call it Mosport. We're heading there with the Little British Car Club and friends. And we got a couple of arrivals here at our destination in Goodwood. It's our meetup location. So we've got a nice 68 TR250, a nice TR6. Malcolm and Richard are here with me. I've got the TR8 today. So yeah, we're waiting for a few others to join the group. Departure's at 9 o'clock here. It's about 8:45 here. So we're gonna wait for a few minutes before we head out. I'm not sure how many cars are coming here, but we are heading to the Field of Dreams car show at Mosport, which begins at well, just after 9 o'clock. Here's another, looks like an MGA rolling in here. Yeah, beautiful. It's like a cherry wine color. It's a beauty. And there's our group leader. There's David. He has an MGA and a midget driving the bike today. All right, we'll see who else shows up. We'll take some video once we get to the show. All right, having a nice drive through the countryside. Following David on the Royal Enfield up here. He's the leader. We've got the TR250 behind us, the MGA. We've got a Spitfire, an MGB, and what else we got? The TR6. Got a good little group. All right, we made it to Mosport. Here's our little banner with our little group here. So, 250 Spit, Mallard Blue TR6, MGB, Chrome Bumper B, the 8, and the Enfield, the Bullet. Let's wander through the rest of the cars that are here.
Coming up next, we will go to race number 6 of the morning. This will be for Group 4, Classic and Modern Classic 1, 2, and A. And then our final race to take us to the lunch break, that'll be Group 5 for Classic and Modern Classic 2, 3, 4, and 5. So still a couple of races to go once we wrap up this fourth and final Sports 2000 North America race here this morning. Working on lap 12 for the race leader, Connor Woolline. 13.5 seconds separating the
participants of the Field of Dreams car show down here getting lined up. They'll do a couple parade laps at lunchtime when the racers are taking a break. I've been on the track a few times, so I'm just going to hang out here and maybe do a little video of them coming around the track. Hopefully they'll get more than one lap.
Celebrating a birthday, and right now celebrating a lead of about 2 seconds on followed by the 8th lap among the classic police cars, and we'll see whether or not we've got about 8 seconds. Weigel, 705. Steve Gidman is third in Classic 4, and then in Classic 5, who is second in Classic 5. Along with Russ Vaughn, those two drivers running 1-2 and lap time.
All right, I'm with Richard, and I'm going to be in his lovely TR250 as a passenger. I'm not a passenger very often, and there's a reason for that. I scream like a little girl. No, we're just about to go out on the track for our parade laps, so I'm not sure how quick these laps will be. We're following a pace car, so I think we're going to get stuck behind a Hudson, so that might be fun to watch in the corner, unless Richard can cut him off.
How wide do you have to take that thing?
Mr. Wilson! That's the fastest you'll go all day.
Probably.
So we got like a
Especially with
64
that Bel Air up there.
It's an Impala.
Yeah.
Then we got a Capri, and then one of those Ford Focus STIs or whatever, a Morgan, a Corvette, an MGB, and a Spitfire, and a fast Corvette. And about 100 cars behind us.
Drive too fast because he doesn't want to lose his Tilly hat.
Yeah.
There's always one. We'll pretend we're clipping the apex at speed.
We'll pretend we're in the Formula One race today. Oh, we're flying. We're doing almost 30 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Across the finish line. 56 Porsche ahead of us. That's an oldie. Nice to be able to follow him for a little while. Anyway, making our way home. Had a great day at the show, and perfect weather for the drive. We'll have a nice drive home. See you when we get there. All right, just coming up to 8 p.m. Great day today, and we ended off the evening by taking the TR250 out for a spin, and it's running great, especially with that new transmission. Everything's working as it should. Car sounds fantastic. So that was an enjoyable evening drive. It's perfect weather. Clear blue skies, not too hot. So we had the car out for about a half an hour run or so. Looking good, still haven't washed it. Anyway, good to get it out. Good ending to the weekend. All right, guys, that's it for tonight. Thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting. And thanks for subscribing. We'll see you on the next video.